Lesson 9 of Language Arts, preparing your speech. This is the exciting part of the preparing part of the speech, because you have your introduction, you've started your outline, hopefully just about done, if not all the way, and then you have your conclusion, and then that's where the fun part starts. You can rehearse it this way and that way and the other way, and then afterwards stand up and actually deliver that speech. So the assignment for today is to finish writing your outline down on a paper. Make sure your introduction comes first, your outline and your conclusion. Well, what I'm actually expecting is not necessarily an outline that you're going to be going off of. What I'm expecting is what we have at the bottom here, and at the top of the next page, or just about the entire next page. Something like this. It's going to be completely written out, and you can practice it that way. But what I want you to do, while you're doing it, while you're presenting this speech, I do not want you to stand there. I think I explained this in the previous lesson. I do not want you to just stand there and read it. From lumps of clay to beautiful vessels. The process of making pottery transforms an ugly lump of clay into something beautiful and useful. Making a piece of pottery requires patience and practice to complete something worthwhile. That's boring. What I would like you to do is remember what you want to say, and if it's easier if you just have an outline rather than the whole written out thing, great, do it that way. But please don't just read it out. That's slightly mundane. Go ahead and say it. From lumps of clay to beautiful vessels. You can even get yourself some vessel, an actual pot. This is if you're writing a pottery. Now, if you're writing, let's say the CN Tower, then if you have a little model CN Tower, this is what I'm going to be talking about today. It's massive, and I've been at the top, and you can walk around the side if you have a harness. It's called a skywalk, that type of thing. Make it interesting, and I think each one of you can do it, and you have no people to watch you. You're going to be doing it on camera just like I am right now. So if you want to practice in front of your parents, great. If you just do it in front of the mirror. So if we turn to page 32, at the bottom it says rehearsing your speech. And it talks about eye contact, look at the people, and don't just do one of these. If I would teach like this for too long, and you could never see me make eye contact with you in the camera, then you would suddenly feel like, Mr. David is not actually talking to me. Where is he looking? Who's in there? Sometimes I look over that way because the door is there and I think somebody's passing. So, whatever the case may be, look at the camera. Or just glance down at your paper and look back at the camera. That way, I know you're talking to me. So, make eye contact directly into the camera. Speak loudly and clearly. You don't have to be yelling, but don't whisper either, so I can barely hear you. I think I'm whispering too loudly for that, but make sure that we can hear what you're saying, because that makes it interesting, because I actually want to hear what you have to say, but if I can't actually hear you, that's a problem. Stick to your outline. Don't add a bunch of random things that eventually you wonder, where did that come from? That is not what, that sentence does not match with my purpose. Stay within your timeline. I think I've explained this to a number of students already, but your limit is 4 to 7 minutes. Stay within that. If you were asked to speak outside of school, and you were given 10 minutes, and you prepare, and suddenly you have 15, 20 minutes of stuff to say. Say, well, that won't matter. I'll just say it all very quickly. That doesn't happen. Stay within your 10-minute slot because somebody else needs to speak after you. For you beginning speakers, you probably don't have that problem to speak way too much. But I always have that problem. Oh. There's the explanation of if you're given 45 minutes, don't talk for 2 minutes or don't go to 7 minutes. And do not say, you are getting nothing said during that time and you're making yourself absolutely awkward. You probably know how much of a pet peeve that is for me. If people say, like I was gonna say, nobody's saying anything when they're saying, they're just telling you that they're nervous. Just eliminate that, and then we should be good to go. The next paragraph says, are you ready to rehearse your speech? One thing that I recommend a whole lot is to practice in front of a mirror. Just either you go into the bathroom and you say, and you have your mirror, and I think you can see me now in the mirror. Do I have straight enough posture? Am I standing up straight enough? Holding my papers. Let me just grab a random piece of paper here. Here you can see me. Am I holding my paper high enough? Am I making eye contact? Look at yourself when you are when you are speaking into the mirror. And what else is there? You look into the mirror, make sure you're making eye contact with yourself, or if you're doing it with a phone, make sure you make eye contact with that camera. Hold your paper properly. Don't end up touching every part, every corner of your paper by the time because you're so nervous. I've also seen, I don't know if you can, I think you can see this podium in the camera. I'll just lift it underneath my chin. It should never be this high. I've seen a man who was public speaking and he was so nervous that he spoke and then he touched every part of his podium. That is absolutely awkward. If you have a podium, this is awkward having it so high. If you need to, just hold on to the sides. Do not use it as your balance, because eventually it will tip and then you will go with it, and that's awkward. Also, if you do not have any podium, then hold your paper, probably with both hands, and then speak like that. Don't run around with your paper and then somehow hold every single piece. So keep it neutral, keep it pretty calm, but don't get up in your camera's face like this. That's awkward. And just make sure you're a distance away where we can hear properly. All right? And I think you are supposed to, in this lesson, time yourself. Make sure you write down the exact amount of time it took you, and then you're on a roll. Practice it maybe 3 or 4 times before you actually send me the video. And I'm expecting a video because school shutdown has been extended. All right? Enjoy writing and rehearsing. Finish the rest of your lesson on your own.